Welcome back. There was no shortage of opinions on food at this year's Minnesota State Fair, but what about politics? Turns out nearly 10,000 fairgoers weighed in on that too. The nonpartisan House of Representatives booth has conducted a political poll for decades, but it tackles different topical issues every year. Now this year, fairgoers voiced support for allowing cities and counties to prohibit cannabis businesses. 66% said undocumented immigrants should have access to state programs, and 70% were in favor of free fishing licenses for those 65 and older. The poll is not scientific, but as Kent Erdahl explains, that doesn't make it insignificant.
If the State Fair truly is the great Minnesota get-together, then it's a natural place for the people's house to ask the people's opinion on timely issues.
All of these questions were based on legislation that was introduced in the House this year but did not become law.
Barry LaGrave is director of Nonpartisan House Public Information Services, which has been at the State Fair for the past 50 years conducting its unscientific State Fair poll.
It's unscientific because it's just a snapshot of the fairgoers, people that happen to be in the education building where the house is located and happen to stop by and take our poll.
If it's an unscientific poll, what kind of a value do you think it has?
It's a great snapshot of fairgoers' opinions of any one time on a variety of issues that they maybe weren't aware the legislature was talking about.
For example, though some weren't aware the city of St. Paul and Minnesota Wild had tried and failed to get additional funding for arena upgrades this year, a clear majority, 69%, made it clear that they oppose using state funds to renovate or build professional sports stadiums or arenas. Even more, nearly 80% say legislators should be banned from lobbying for 2 years after leaving office. And in the wake of the political assassination of House Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman, roughly 79% say they support banning guns in the state capitol.
People were unaware that if you had a conceal and carry permit, you could bring a gun into the state capitol.
LaGrave says making people aware is the point, and he says that understanding extends to House members too.
As a result of the results, it's a good broad snapshot of issues that the members have to face all the time.
In past years, polling shifts on issues like marijuana legalization, same-sex marriage, and even gun control have also foreshadowed legislation and election results. And maybe, just maybe, it's because this poll is open to all. Are kids allowed to take it?
Yes, if kids can take it, it gets them used to the voting process. This is a real optical scanner ballot. They can fill in their oval and they can put it in the ballot scanner and see that their vote was registered. So it's a good way to get them into the process.
Well, in case you're wondering, one of the most evenly divided questions this year was whether schools should be allowed to start before Labor Day. The yeses just barely edged out the noes, despite it being asked at the State Fair. We do have a full breakdown of all the poll questions for you right now on KARE11.com. Well, today the Powerball jackpot rose to $1.7 billion after no one won that prize last night. But check your tickets, Minnesotans, because one ticket bought in Minnesota did win $1 million and another won $50,000. However, as we said, no one was able to match all 6 numbers in Wednesday's drawing, bringing the sum to the 3rd largest jackpot in U.S. Lotto history. While the odds of winning are small, about 1 in 292.2 million, your next chance to try your luck will be this Saturday night. All right, ready or not, the NFL is back tonight. The Eagles and Cowboys will kick off the season in Philadelphia, and that is where NBC's Jay Gray is today.
It is game day in Philadelphia, kickoff of the NFL season, now just hours away, and we are outside the stadium where tonight they are going to raise the Super Bowl banner for the Philadelphia Eagles. The fans here still flying high after the Birds' big Super Bowl win. They've been out tailgating, getting ready for this game since last night, and so when kickoff gets here, they are going to be primed and ready to go. It's a big game, a rivalry game. The Eagles taking on their bitter rivals, the Cowboys, in an NFC East divisional battle. And this is one that it doesn't matter where the team's finished, where they are in the standings. These two teams just don't like each other, so you always see a tough go between these two teams. Perfect day for football. May see a little rain during the game, but right now it is wonderful. You can hear the tailgaters getting fired up as well. Look, the broadcast tonight, it comes with a bit of history, too. It's Thursday night, but it really kicks off the Sunday Night Football 20th anniversary season. And that first game, really a special game as far as the NFL is concerned. It was the Manning Bowl, the Colts and Giants. Peyton and Eli Manning squaring off. And it's the first and only time that brothers have been on opposite teams starting an NFL game. We won't see brothers tonight. In fact, there won't be much brotherly love, as they talk about here in Philadelphia on that field, but should be a terrific way to start the NFL season. I'm Jay Gray in Philadelphia, NBC News.
The Vikings, by the way, opened their season on Monday Night Football against the Bears in Chicago. All right, take a look at this. A game of catch turns into a game of fetch at a Brewers game. Milwaukee first responder James Small threw out the first pitch earlier this week, and the team surprised him with a service dog. Small says he applied for a service dog but expected to have to wait a while. However, the Brewers wanted to sponsor someone deserving of a new best friend, and they say they could not think of a better fit.
It's just been a lot of surprise planning on the back end, a lot of emails.
A lot of surprises today. Certainly not something that I expected to have today. I was diagnosed with PTSD 9 years ago and have been treated for that since then. And I know a lot of other people, and I've been able to help advocate for them through the peer support programs and so on too. So I'm looking forward to doing more of that.
Small has served the Milwaukee area for over 30 years in several different roles. Stick with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.